Good Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Last week we talked about surprise. Well, people were surprised at the unemployment situation that came out a week ago. And when we call it now, surprise part 2, because there were some surprising things that actually happened. Once again, we talked about the surprise index, which essentially at the 0 point would be if the economists got the numbers right. And you can see going into the past through April, right through the end of year 2014, that the economists were getting it right more times than they were getting it wrong. And then came into 2015. And it's really amazing how off the economists have been in terms of their projections. And it doesn't mean in a positive way. This means in a negative way in terms of their projections and what the actual numbers were. So what we did is that we talked last week about the surprise index, and the point that we made, if we look at all the different sectors of the surprise index, the only one where the economists were above 0 was in the employment area. And we made the point, how could this be? How could this be that they could be so wrong in all other areas of the economy, and yet they've been surprisingly bullish in terms of employment? And the question I asked, isn't something wrong with this? Well, interestingly enough, when we then took into account the employment situation that came out, is that it then brought that also into that negative territory in terms of them being off in terms of their projections on employment. So then we can also look at the Fed, and we've talked about this before, the LMCI index, Labor Market Condition Index, that the Federal Reserve developed looking at a variety of different employment and unemployment numbers, wages, etc., all wrapped up into one number. And the thing that we were saying is that there's been a downward trend in this number. You can see 7.1 was the high on that index, moving itself down to 3.8 in January. Interestingly enough, it originally came out at 4 in February, and they downplayed that now to a 2 on the release that came out last week. But amazingly enough, we want to concentrate on this number, actually came out as a negative 0.3%. So when we look at that on an overall basis, we've seen a decline. But now that moved into the negative territory, that surprise has got to be worrying the Fed. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafried and Brew. Have a great week.